today's women, they have the desire to get ahead, have a career. Those are all the same traits I had. I rebelled against many things, and you don't have to. It is given to you now. However, the restlessness leads to a lot of unhappiness.
Welcome to another episode of YanaTV. As we approaching International Women's Day, I have a very special guest joining me in the studio today. Mannie Chidambaram is a woman of many talents who have already lived a very full life. She is 84, turning 85 in a few months. And we will have a conversation about life of a woman, fundamentally. 84, that's a lot of things has happened. If you just look back. And let me say from the very beginning, when you were a little girl, I assume that your upbringing was very, very different that probably you see children right now. So tell us a bit more about your childhood as a girl.
I was the last child of the family.
How many siblings?
My mother had 10, I think I was 11. Her job was to have children. Childhood was nothing special because you come from a large family. You don't get any preferential treatment. Being a little one, you find your way to move around. Two of my sisters were already married and they had children older than me. So I didn't have interaction with them that much. But my brothers, they were close to me. I will hang around, I will climb the tree, do everything a boy does. Coming back, it was okay. I had all the fun, but I did not know I didn't have many things as today's children have. And then I move on to my teenage years. School, nothing but school. Because I thought education is going to take me someplace.
Did you realize it yourself or your parents told you this or your older siblings?
My mother was not educated, but she will say everybody should go to school. Whether we did well or not, she couldn't assess what we were. My father was very old at the time. I was born when he was 65 years old. I respected him, I loved him, but there's not much closeness. And then my family started going through hard times. My brother, who was the breadwinner of the house, he passed and he was only 28 years old at that time. And then my father passed away exactly 50 days after my brother's passing away. So those 2-3 years, it was hell. For me, education was important. No matter what happened, I would go to school. There were many days my mother could not provide food for the family, but it didn't bother me. I went to a school where everything was free. From books, notebooks, tuition, everything was free. When I finished my high school, the school headmistress, here they say principal headmistress. I was only 15 years old. I could not do anything. So she said, you must go to college. I said, how can I go to college? I don't even have means to live day to day. She said, don't worry. I will give a recommendation to the administrator of the college. I was the best student in class. So that helped to get into the college. It was a very tough life, but still I could continue my education. Mathematics was my major. So I did well, and then I went out to my graduate studies. At that time, the family was turning around a little bit. The brother, who is 92 now, he started making money and then taking care of everything. And he asked me to go to another town, which is about 70 kilometers from where I went to school. Then as I was studying, I met Arun.
Your husband?
Yeah.
Right? What age you were?
I was 20 hardly.
Okay.
She was a best friend of my brother in playing cricket. And Arun was the most smartest kid in college. And she comes from a normal family, not like my family, normal family. So we were corresponding, writing letters, finding out about each person. But in my mind, I knew it won't happen.
It will not.
Yeah, because the caste system. Because
it was still very strong, right? So you're coming from different castes.
I come from a upper class and he is a little below, okay? So I could not reveal that I want to marry him or start a life. My mother and brothers, they may not agree to this arrangement because, number one, my brother was expecting me to be the breadwinner.
Okay. You are the youngest in the family. Yeah. That's an interesting expectation.
I couldn't do anything. Then I finished my college. I took up a teaching position far away from where we lived. And then I moved to that town and I was teaching. And then Arun wanted to resume the relationship. He visited me a couple of times and he said, it is time we should get married because his parents were putting pressure on him.
To get married?
He was finishing up his engineering and in their community, boys get married very young, girls get married very young. So he was an exception. So they were putting pressure on him. And also money. When the son gets married, there will be a lot of money coming into the family.
You have to pay for the girl, right?
The bride's family. I had nothing. So anyway, we went against everybody's wishes and we went one fine morning. We were living close to Chennai. In those days, it was called Madras. So we went to the registrar's office and we got registered. That is the marriage I had. Okay?
So there is no big celebration, right? It was
what celebration? It's the registrar in front of me and two of the witnesses, and that's about it. And then both families came to know of this and they were up in arms. The major role Arun's older brother played was he wanted me to divorce him. I'm hardly 22 going on 23 and he is 23 going on 24. They say that, he should divorce me and they should get him married to another girl of their choice. And she said, nothing doing. He stood by me. I'm grateful. Or else, you could not have seen your husband.
Exactly. For those who don't know, I wanted to reveal at the end of the video, Mannie is my mom-in-law, so lucky me. Yes.
So anyway, we came out of all the hardships and then Ravi was born. Even at that time, we both were working, but we did not have enough money to live the way we live today. Then we thought nobody likes us in India. Why can't we go to the USA? Because the opportunities are there and our child will grow to be a better person.
And family also, there is less conflict within the two families that didn't like each other.
I think my side of the family came around, that is especially my mom. Even though she was not educated, she had a lot of common sense. And she respected Arun. She said he will take care of me and that was okay. And then Ravi was 5-year-old. We moved to the USA. It's struggling, but we were happily struggling. And Ravi had everything he wanted. And he went to a normal school. And we always told him, you don't have to do any work. You have to study well. That's all we expected of him, which he did. Rest is history, the other side.
When you went to US, the very important part, which you humbly haven't said, so that's why I want to ask, you actually became very successful on the Wall Street. You probably were the only Indian woman at that time.
That is correct. Because the way I ended up in Wall Street, I did not know Wall Street. Because I'm coming from India, I am a mathematics grad. I don't know anything about finance. But I wanted to get some more money working for a living. So Arun came up with this little, in those days in the newspaper you can see
like an ad, right?
Little commercial ad. And then he said, this looks like interesting. Do you want to try this one? Okay. I called somebody and they said, you have to come here at such and such time. And you know Manhattan. I was working below Midtown, but not downtown, that area. Okay. So I took a train, subway, went there, and still I remember the address for that place. It's 4 New York Plaza, and nobody knows that address because it is a new building and it is on this broad street. But this building is 4 New York Plaza. And then somehow I found that, and I went and I met this gentleman who was the controller of the accounting department. He asked me certain questions, I answered, and then he looked at me and he said, if I don't like your performance, I'll fire you. I looked at him straight in the face. He said, if I don't like this job, I will quit. I have nothing here. And he's the greatest man. I said, I'll quit. I don't have to put up with you. And he was stunned.
Yeah, he probably was speechless.
Being a woman, and that too, not the local woman. She comes from someplace and she challenges me. I said, okay, I'll hire you. Okay, that's where my Wall Street career started. It was a normal reconciliation clerk. All the bank statements I have to take and then do something and figure out where they need help. And the accounting department, I was the only woman.
The only woman, and again, the only Indian woman, right?
If I go to the cafeteria, other department people will ask, where am I from? I'll say India. They'll say, oh, it is close to Egypt. I said, no, you have to go farther than that. Those were the days, but it is fun.
But also with the cafeteria, interesting, you mentioned you're vegetarian by birth.
Yes.
So how was the food in US in those days?
Oh, that is another story. The early days, if I say vegetarian, nobody will understand. And especially my colleagues, how do you survive? I say, look at me. I am the right size. I am not thin or I am not fat. So that means something is good with my food. But they didn't understand. And one guy very jokingly said, no, Mannie. No, that this company gave me the name Mannie because everybody is a man and Charles, Bill, and whatever it is. So my boss, she says, we are going to call you Mannie.
Your full name is Mangalam. Right? So I guess
yeah,
you probably couldn't pronounce it.
Good luck. They don't care. Okay. He will say, if I am alone, starving, and there's nobody else, and you are in front of me, I'll kill you and then eat you. I said, thank God I am not with you anywhere. So that's how it was. But being a vegetarian was very tough. This is 1969-70. Nobody knew vegetarianism. Everybody was into 3-meal meat eaters. And that was their life. Then I thought, since I started in accounting, being a mathematics person, I had to improve myself. I told Arun, maybe I should go to school and get a degree in finance, accounting.
In US?
In the US, because all I did was mathematics. Here, it can put me in a clerical position, but cannot take it far. Ravi was maybe 6-7 year old. It was tough. She had a part-time babysitter. Arun kept on saying, no, in couple of years, I'll make more money. You stay home and take care of the child. I said, no, I have to have a career. I have to. And then I started going to night school.
Night school?
Night school. My first boss, I still remember him. He was very strict. He is from the Israelite region. His discipline is so much, no matter what you do, you have to finish your day. There is no tomorrow. So I'll have a test in school, but I have to finish everything. Then only I'll end up going to the school. So I went through a lot of hardship In 3 years, I got my graduate degree in accounting. I am a pure science grad, so I had to do that, and then finance, accounting, everything. I look at my current position. I am still doing the same old garbage work. They won't pay me anything more because I am a woman, I am a foreigner, okay? And I am pushing to be my 30s. So I resigned and look for a job. Now I have a degree from the USA. 2 weeks I am home. This current ex-boss calls me. He says, Mannie, we want you back. I said, you didn't want to pay me. Why do you want me back? No, it is important. You come back. I'll give you some more money. He was not generous or anything, but he gave me some money. That was 1974. And the US was going through a recession, stagflation, you name it. It was very bad situation for the country. And we both have to work or else we are in trouble. We have no money. We have to pay mortgage also. In 2 years, we moved into our own place. Life was struggle, but I never thought it was a struggle. It was a challenge. Check the challenge. And people will make fun of me saying, your name is too long. I say, fine. Someday when I become your boss, you will know how to say my name.
The last name, right? Chidambaram.
Yeah.
Hard to pronounce if they don't know.
Yeah, because for them, foreigners are foreigners. So that I will not take their criticism on par value. I'll give it back to them. Then I changed the job a couple of times until I landed on the current job, which will pay me well and give me a title, and I'll have my own department. And that is where my Wall Street career started. It was a struggle all the way. However, it was challenge. And with all these things, I can be who I am today. It's because of Arun. His support was tremendous. For every woman, there is a husband behind, or vice versa.
How many years are you married as of today?
62 years.
62 years of marriage. In the modern world, it sounds almost impossible, with the divorce rate.
The word divorce never occurs to you if you are very busy and focus on what you are doing. What you are doing is for the family. It was not for you. Even today, I don't have a separate bank account. Everything I made or everything Arun made, it's in only one account. We manage that way. We never fight over money. That is the evil of all. Okay? We fight.
But not over money. No.
We have a lot of difference of opinions. As you grow older, you think differently. That's fine. But not over money.
What do you feel is the secret to stay married, for such a long time?
Okay. That is because you accept your partner for what he is or she is. Don't expect a lot out of them. They are human beings. They can be chief of the corporation or running a country, but still he or she is a human being. And if you take that philosophy, you cannot go wrong. But today's younger generation, they are very, very restless, want everything now. If it doesn't take place, they walk out. And then they think marriage is a partnership. And I think marriage is a bonding. Partnership is, a business partner, you can go away, he can go away. But bonding, somehow you have to be there.
You find this connection and you nurture this, right?
Yeah.
Day after day after day.
Yeah. You see, you can sit in the same room, not talking to each other, but I know what Arun is thinking at that moment. It's a feeling you develop. But I may be very old-fashioned when it comes to marriage, but this is my philosophy.
When you look at younger women, so let's say women my age, a little bit younger than me, a little bit older than me, right? So just younger women. What do you see actually, like when you observe them, like in terms of personalities and how they go through life?
They have the desire to get ahead, have a career. Those are all the same traits I had. I rebelled against many things, and you don't have to. It is given to you now. It is your right to have that, and you can have it. However, the restlessness leads to lot of unhappiness. Whether you are single, whether you are married, the unhappiness comes from that.
Very interesting. I do feel, especially I think ever since, internet of course came in much later in your life, and then social media, probably not at all, right? So
social media is another story.
Yes. So with all of that, it does make people, what you said, more restless and looking for the instant gratification, and attention span becomes much shorter. I mean, look, even here with the videos, right? We try to keep them as much as we can, around 25 minutes, just because we understand attention span of the audience.
No, time is of essence to everybody, but the restlessness is out of that. It's, you are born and you are expected so many things, and then the pressure gets to you. And the pressure builds up today's generation, and they think, oh, this is the right way. They don't even stop and think.
So but you feel it's important to pause.
Pause, yeah. See, you believe in Buddhist teachings.
Including Hindu, yes.
Always there is a way to negotiate. Nothing is, improbable. You can do it, but negotiate.
What do you feel is the secret to like a genuinely happy life, especially for a woman?
Today's woman is entrenched with more power. Today, I would say, we even go to the other level. We suppress men. It's not required. We can be equal, and we can still do many things.
And so with all this power, I feel that women have these days, do you think they're happier than maybe your generation or not? Does it really bring happiness?
Women's empowerment still has to go a long way. For example, the United States, all these years, we never had a president. There are so many talented women. They cannot have that position because they are women. That will change. Is it in my lifetime? Maybe not. But it will happen. You have to work at it.
If you were to look at little girls right now, those who are just growing up, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years old, right? The younger generation about to be born once. What advice would you like to give to them?
They have to accept life for what it is. Not that, you have to go to a corner and say, this is my life, I'll spend the rest of it. You can work at it, but you do not have to push for it. It will come to you if you work at it.
And maybe the final question for today, when you look at your own life, what do you feel was the happiest moment?
The happiest moment? Having my child. Getting married to Arun, that's the first thing. Having my child, I still consider him as my child.
Of course.
Even though he's a grown-up man. Those are the happiest moments. Materialistically, I'm not inclined. He may be successful, he may not be, but he is my child. I want him to be happy.
Mannie, thank you so much for joining us today and just very so open and especially like open-hearted about your journey. Like I even learned a lot after knowing you for so many years, and I'm sure that our audience will also benefit from your story, especially that we're having it around International Women's Day. So that was Mannie Chidambaram on YanaTV. As you probably figured out already through the conversation, she is my mom-in-law, which is a very interesting twist. I think she's the first family member I actually invited on YanaTV, and I felt it is very important that she shares her story as a woman who has lived such a full, a very interesting life, and very rebellious, very strong, stands up for her the YouTube channel, share this episode with friends, and have the most incredible International Women's Day.
You're going to have an International Women's Day celebration?
Well, I guess in the studio we will, but the most important is we are releasing it around the International Women's Day.